Welcome to a deep dive that, well, it might just surprise you.
Hmm.
We're often focused on the next big thing, cutting edge technology.
Right.
But today, we're zooming in on something you probably interact with every week, the humble AA battery.
Ah, yes.
You bet.
Ubiquitous.
Exactly. And you might think its days are numbered, right, in this increasingly rechargeable world.
That's the common assumption, yeah.
But our sources, particularly some fascinating data from cognitive market research, they paint a picture of impressive, even explosive global growth.
It really does challenge that conventional wisdom.
So our mission today is to unpack these insights, figure out where this power surge is happening geographically, and most importantly, discover what's truly fueling it. Okay, let's unpack this.
Absolutely. And what's truly fascinating here isn't just that something so everyday continues to expand globally. It's the scale and the trajectory. It reveals some, well, surprising truths about consumption patterns and how we use devices around the world. It's a much bigger story than just a small battery.
Okay, so let's set the stage then. What does this big picture of the global AA battery market actually look like in terms of, sheer size and this unexpected growth?
Well, to give you a sense of scale, the global AA market back in 2021 was already substantial, generated over $10.3 billion.
10.3 billion. Okay.
And it's not slowing down, not at all. Projections show it hitting nearly $13.5 billion by 2025.
Right.
And then it really surges to an incredible $23.1 billion by 2033.
Wow, $23 billion.
Yeah, that translates to a healthy compound annual growth rate, the CAGR, of almost 7%.
Almost 7% yearly growth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you connect this to the bigger picture, it clearly tells us disposable power sources.
Yeah.
They're far from obsolete. In fact, they're thriving.
Over $23 billion by 2033. That is a truly eye-opening number for a product we might just, take for granted. So if the global market is growing so vigorously, which regions are really leading this charge? Where's the growth strongest?
Well, the Asia-Pacific market is the undeniable global leader here. It generated around $3.9 billion back in 2021.
Right.
And it's projected to nearly double to over $9.6 billion by 2033.
Double? Wow.
Yeah, expanding at a robust 7.6% CAGR.
Okay.
So this leads to a crucial question, right? What makes this region such a dominant force? It's roughly a third of the global market, driving so much of the growth.
That's a massive piece of the pie for Asia Pacific. So how do regions like North America and Europe stack up in this surprising growth story?
Well, North America holds a significant share, too. It was about $2.7 billion in 2021.
Still very big.
Oh, yeah. And it's on track to reach over $5.7 billion by 2033. That's a CAGR of about 6.7%.
Okay, slightly lower than Asia Pacific, but still strong.
Exactly. And Europe follows. It generated roughly $1.6 billion in 2021. Projected to exceed $3.5 billion by 2033, with a KGR of nearly 6.8%.
So Europe's growth rate is actually a tiny bit higher than North America's. Interesting.
It is, yeah. So while Asia-Pacific is the clear powerhouse, both North America and Europe are definitely showing very strong, consistent growth.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting for me. When we drill down from these, broad regional numbers, are there any specific countries within these regions showing particularly surprising or, accelerated growth?
Absolutely. And this is quite telling. In Asia-Pacific, while China dominates in sheer volume, no surprise there.
Right.
It's actually India that truly stands out. Highest growth in the region.
India. Really?
Yeah, projecting an over 8% CAGR, growing from about $450 million in 2021 to over $1.1 billion by 2033.
Over 8%. That's significant.
It is. And Southeast Asia also shows really impressive growth rates, very similar to India.
Okay.
And this rapid expansion, it points towards increasing access to consumer electronics, burgeoning middle class in these areas, that sort of thing.
So India and Southeast Asia are really powering that Asian surge? Makes sense. What about North America and Europe? Any surprises there beyond the overall regional growth figures?
Yes, definitely. So in North America, the U.S. obviously represents the largest volume. But it's actually Canada that's posting the strongest CAGR, over 7.3%.
Canada, ahead of the U.S. in growth rate.
In growth rate, yes. Projected to grow from about $616 million in 2021 to nearly $1.5 billion by 2033.
Huh. Okay. And Europe?
And in Europe, get this, the United Kingdom leads. Fastest TGR there at almost 7.9%.
Wow, the UK. Nearly 8%.
Expected to more than double its 2021 figure of about $416 million to over $1 billion by 2033.
So we're seeing significant growth rates in developed markets, too, not just emerging ones.
Exactly. Canada and the UK are showing really robust growth.
That's quite a revelation. So what about other regions, like the Middle East, South America, even Africa? Are they part of this unexpected battery boom?
They are, to varying degrees. The Middle East market overall showing very strong growth, a CGR around 7.6%.
Okay, comparable to Asia Pacific.
Pretty close, yeah. And within that, the UAE in particular has the fastest growth in the region, over 8% CGR.
Another standout.
Yeah, heading toward more than $209 million by 2033. Saudi Arabia also posts a robust growth rate, very similar. South America, while it's smaller overall, shows steady growth. About a 6.4% CAGR, with Colombia leading its region slightly higher.
Okay, steady growth.
Yep.
And Africa?
Africa. Well, it generated over $540 million in 2021, so it's not insignificant.
No.
But it shows a more modest overall CAGR, about 3.7%. South Africa has the highest growth within that region, just under 4%.
So a bit slower there compared to, say, the Middle East or Asia.
Correct. Different dynamics at play, likely.
So, okay, the story isn't just about these massive existing markets, but also specific countries and regions rapidly ramping up their demand. What does this all mean? I mean, with all these impressive numbers, these regional variations, what's actually fueling this persistent, even accelerating demand for AA batteries? Especially in a world that's supposedly moving towards rechargeable everything.
Right. And this is the crux of the deep dive, isn't it?
Yeah.
The sources point to clear, fundamental drivers, rising demand in consumer electronics, toys, portable devices, right across the globe.
Okay, but why disposable specifically?
Well, let's dig into that. Despite all the advances in rechargeable tech, many everyday items, and crucially, new purchases, especially in rapidly developing economies like India, Southeast Asia, they still heavily rely on the convenience and, this is key, the low upfront cost of AA batteries.
Ah, the low upfront cost. You're right, that's key. It's not just about legacy devices we already own.
No, it's about new things being sold.
Right, think about it. A remote control, a wall clock, kids' toys, maybe some flashlights, they're often designed for AAs, keeps the initial purchase price down.
Exactly.
And perhaps in areas where reliable access to charging infrastructure isn't, ubiquitous.
Right.
Or where people might not want to invest in rechargeable batteries and chargers. OBOs offer instant accessible power. Grab and go.
Precisely. That lower entry barrier makes technology more accessible to millions, particularly in countries with large emerging consumer bases.
Yeah.
It's about bridging that gap to digital life for many people. And even in developed markets like the UK and Canada we mentioned with high growth, we see a continued, maybe even surprising, reliance on these batteries for specific product categories or just that convenience factor, the grab-and-go power, without needing to remember to charge something.
So it signifies maybe a two-tiered tech adoption where disposables kind of coexist and actually enable entry-level tech for a huge part of the global population.
I think that's a great way to put it. They coexist and enable.
What a truly eye-opening deep dive into something so familiar yet, wow, so globally significant. It's clear the humble AA battery market is far from fading. Projections showing remarkable growth, over $23 billion globally by 2033.
Quite remarkable.
We've seen how regions like Asia Pacific, the Middle East, they're leading this charge, and how specific countries like India, Southeast Asia, the UK, Canada, the UAE, they're showing surprisingly rapid expansion, really defying expectations.
Indeed. And this growth, it isn't just a collection of abstract numbers, is it?
No.
It's a direct reflection of continued fundamental demand. Consumer electronics, toys, portable devices, especially driven by that accessibility and convenience, particularly in rapidly developing markets.
Yeah.
It highlights that even as technology evolves, these foundational power solutions, they remain absolutely critical globally.
So next time you grab a pack of AA batteries, maybe consider the vast, dynamic global market humming along behind them, and the surprising economic, even social indicators they represent. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other seemingly old technologies are quietly powering global progress and will continue to surprise us with their enduring growth in the years to come?